The Mississippi River, the most important river in the history of America, serving as a lifeline to the heart of the nation. The Mississippi has created some of the most important cities in the country, but as well as building major metropolitan areas, the Mississippi has also destroyed riverside towns with floods, turning once important cities into ghost towns. One of these towns is Kaskaskia, Illinois, once the state capital, holding a very respectable population for its time, now reduced to a population of just 21 people, and being completely forgotten by the world and even its own state. Before the video starts though, please click the subscribe button if you're new to the channel and want to support me. We make geography content like this every single week, so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, just click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future uploads. Thank you. So first of all, where exactly is Kaskaskia, Illinois? Well, the village is located 50 miles south of St. Louis on an island. If you're following along with the map, you'll find it's this very obvious area jutting out from the rest of the state into Missouri. So yeah, let's zoom into this island. It's 23 square miles of Mississippi River floodplain, and Kaskaskia is located near the center of the island. Now, there are two ways to get onto Kaskaskia Island. The main entrance is coming out of St. Mary's, Missouri, where there's a half-mile bridge. On the north end of the island, the small unpaved Klein Lane passes over a small creek to get into Illinois and Kaskaskia Island. Now, the most important thing about what I just said is that there's no entrance over the actual Mississippi River. The only way to get onto the island is by going through Missouri. In fact, just driving from Kaskaskia to the rest of Illinois takes 20 minutes. So why is it completely cut off from its own state? Well, let's take a look back at the island's history to find out exactly what's going on. So let's start by traveling back to 1809, when Kaskaskia became the capital of the Illinois Territory. At this time, it had around 5,000 residents, which was pretty good for this era in America. But with all the government moving into the town, the population boomed to its peak, which was 7,200 people. Now, importantly, at this time, Kaskaskia wasn't actually an island, since it was connected to the rest of Illinois. This made it a lot more desirable as a location for a town, being right on the Mississippi River, but still within the geographical borders of the state. So Kaskaskia was Illinois' capital from 1809 to 1819, when it went from the status of territory to statehood. After Illinois became a state, the capital was moved from Kaskaskia to Vandalia, leaving the town behind in a way. Kaskaskia no longer had the major thing keeping it going, which was the state government. It had to learn how to adapt to that. Everything went along relatively smoothly until flooding problems started to affect the city more frequently and heavily. In 1844, the state was flooded and had to be completely relocated from its spot that happens to be completely under the present-day Mississippi River. This is where Kaskaskia started to take a tumble, with a lot of the population leaving for new lands that wouldn't get constantly flooded. Now, the Great Flood of 1844 wasn't even the worst the village would see. In 1881, most of, if not the whole town, would be destroyed by a flood going through the area. This flood is where everything went wrong for Kaskaskia, because the entire Mississippi River shifted its path to east of the village instead of west. Kaskaskia had become an island disconnected from its own state with no bridges. Pretty much everything had gone wrong, resulting in its population plummeting all the way to 177 people in the year 1900. Although the population of Kaskaskia was still motivated to keep the town afloat, literally and figuratively. In 1893, the people of the town rebuilt the Church of the Immaculate Conception in Kaskaskia. They also built a shrine in the similar style nearby to house the Liberty Bell. There was still a community in the village, even though on a statewide scale it had fallen off the map. Over the course of the next century, though, floods continued to happen frequently and make life in the village extremely hard. Population plummeted, and every year it would get worse and worse. By 1990, the population was just 32, when yet another flood happened in the village, burying houses under 9 feet of water, with only their roofs sticking out from the flooding. This felt like the last straw for the former capital, with basically everything imaginable going wrong. Deforestation of the riverbanks also caused the shoreline to become completely unstable, meaning the island was literally falling into the Mississippi, or sinking in a way. By 2000, the population had dropped to just 9 people. Kaskaskia had already gotten insanely close to becoming a complete ghost town. Flipping back to present day, Kaskaskia is still alive technically. There are 12 blocks mostly filled with empty lots. You could drive through the village in 10 seconds, it's so small. It really just looks like one of those places where you know there's a story behind it just because of its desolation. It's a really strange place. Now, I think the main reason why the village hasn't completely died has to do with flooding, or lack thereof. The island hasn't had to deal with any major flooding since that 1991 flood, and for now it seems to be continuing that streak. I think it's incredibly interesting to look back at old maps of the Kaskaskia area to really show how the Mississippi completely screwed over the city by cutting it off from its own state. This used to be a prime spot for a great Mississippi River city, but it got one of the worst draws of any location in Illinois. The same could be said for its southern counterpart, Cairo, another once great city that met the exact same demise, killed by the very same river that created it. Who knows what the future holds for Kaskaskia? For now, it's the least populated incorporated community in Illinois. But if the Mississippi River wants to strike again, it could completely destroy Kaskaskia forever. Thanks for watching. And also thank you to the members this week: WolfLink73, Carport, Cider Schwein, Florida Jake, Philip Gertz, Somnam Woods, Big Pasty, Stormy Knight, Nikita Martinoff, KMS162, Haystack, Benjamin Whiting, Ryan Devins, Hazev the Wolf, Jake Holloway, JL, Jeremy Crone, Dominic Psyche, Rosebud4, and Bryson. I appreciate you all so much. If you want to become a member, the link is in the description below, as well as the join button next to the subscribe button. This is just giving money to me on a monthly basis, and all of it will go straight into my college savings, so you are genuinely just helping me as a person if you do that. Thank you.